When you feel stuck, here's the real reason you can't move forward. It's not lack of motivation, it's losing your own voice in a sea of everyone else's. I've felt lost more times than I'd like to admit, mostly because I have a very stubborn, I'll handle it myself, thank you, kind of ego. My latest detour into confusion happened while trying to create my brand, my YouTube channel, my business, the whole vision of what I wanted to offer the world. Instead of choosing one guide, one teacher, one voice to learn from, I took a shortcut that turned out to be the scenic route to misery. I skipped straight to the results I wanted and inhaled every expert, every article, every how-to video that promised to get me there from here. With each new piece of advice, my anxiety ballooned. Suddenly, I felt like I had to do everything all at once, immediately. What I didn't realize was that this strategy guaranteed one outcome: confusion, and following close behind it, disappointment in myself, overwhelm, and despair. When I hit that mix, my energy drops to zero. I get nothing done. I feel lazy, guilty, and tired in a way sleep can't fix. So I reverse engineered this last spiral and uncovered the truth. I overloaded myself with too many voices and lost my own. My ego, of course, was delighted. As you'll see, the ego loves anything that feels like a giant puzzle, a problem to conquer, or a mountain to climb. But my soul? It was quietly whispering, "This isn't you." I discovered I was living on someone else's settings. It always starts the same way. I try to be more by doing more, usually by borrowing other people's blueprints for success. One click leads to another, and suddenly I'm 14 videos deep into the lives of strangers who apparently wake up at 4:30 a.m., meditate while their kombucha ferments, and run seven-figure empires from their minimalist kitchens. And for a hot second, I believe I should do that too. The truth is, I shouldn't even try. There is a sneaky way we lose ourselves, not just in the big existential way, although, yes, that too, but in a million little micro misdirections that seem helpful on the surface. We're bombarded with inspiration, which is just cleverly disguised comparison. We scroll through highlight reels and assume they're roadmaps. We copy rituals that weren't designed for us. We follow advice from people whose souls are playing a completely different game. And we wonder why we feel anxious, exhausted, or like we've misplaced our spark. It's like trying to toast a bagel in a washing machine. Wrong tool, wrong program, soggy outcome. It's time to rethink our settings. Your settings, your true ones, are built in, soul level stuff. You were born with them, but they don't come printed on a user manual, which feels rude, honestly. Your soul is specific. It's not here to do everything. It's here to do something very you. And here's where it gets tricky. That soul path of yours, it's usually not flashy. It's not screaming for attention or wrapped in a 10-step funnel. In fact, compared to all the wild, shiny options out there, your true path might seem, brace yourself, boring. Not because it's not powerful, but because it's natural. It fits, it flows, and flow is boring to the ego, which would rather set itself on fire than let you coast. The ego only feels alive on a mountaintop. Let's talk about that pesky little voice, the ego. It loves dramatic highlights. Give it a challenge, a self-help quest, or a course titled Unlock Your Inner Alpha Money Manifesting Unicorn. and it is in. The ego thrives in struggle. If your life starts to feel too easy, too joyful, too aligned, the ego starts tossing and turning like it's going through withdrawal. This can't be it, it says. You're not even sweating. Quick, sign up for a certification you don't need. And just like that, you're off again, chasing, climbing, comparing, tweaking, fixing things that were never broken. Let it be easy. I know, shocking. The hardest thing I've ever tried to do is not make life harder than it needs to be. It takes actual discipline to stay in your own lane when the world is offering you 87 flashier ones. It takes courage to follow your weird, beautiful rhythm instead of syncing up with what looks successful or impressive on Instagram. It takes guts to say, this right here, this soft, clear, steady thing, yeah, this is enough. And when you stop trying to be a 24-hour buffet of everyone else's energy, you remember, oh, right, I actually like myself. I have a path, and I'm allowed to follow with it without apologizing. You may not be lost. You may just be overbooked. So, the next time you feel stuck, don't assume you're broken or lazy or missing some magical puzzle piece. Maybe you're just bloated with advice that wasn't meant for you. What can you do? Clear your plate, mute the noise, come home to the settings that actually belong to you. They may not be loud, but they run deep, and they'll take you farther than any shiny shortcut ever could. Here are more things you can do to find your way when you feel lost.
Let's just get this part out of the way. Sometimes life is hard for no good reason. You didn't do anything wrong. You're not repaying some cosmic debt from a past life where you were a dishonest spice merchant. And you're not being punished for that one time you ghosted your inner voice and dated chaos instead. It's just life being life. Unpredictable, weirdly timed, and a little rude. You don't have to diagnose it to survive it, but you can move through it more gently. Here's how. 1. Stop trying to outrun the fog. When you feel lost, the instinct is to fix it fast. You try to outrun the discomfort with plans, charts, lists, and 47 tabs open to articles titled 10 Ways to Find Your Life's Purpose in Under 24 Hours. That only makes things foggier. Instead, pause. Don't build a new version of yourself in a panic. You'll just use the wrong blueprint. Sit still long enough to feel the ground again. Drink tea. Cry in the bath. Watch a squirrel. Let yourself not know for a minute. 2. Do the tiny thing you can do. You don't need to climb out of the stuckness all at once. Just water the plant. Answer the text. Put on pants with a waistband. Your soul doesn't need grand gestures. It needs momentum, and momentum starts small. The tiniest act of alignment can knock the first domino over. 3. Stop blaming yourself for being human. Feeling lost is not a character flaw. It's not a spiritual failure. It's not a sign that you're off path. It's just a part of the rhythm, like high tide and low tide, like sun and fog, like I've got this, and oh dear God, I do not got this. The trick is not to glue your identity to the low moments. They aren't the truth of who you are. They're just weather. Let them roll through. 4. Quit the Soul Olympics. When we're feeling off, the ego likes to whisper, well, maybe if you were more healed, more evolved, more spiritually disciplined, this wouldn't be happening. Ugh, shut up, Carl. Let's just call the ego Carl today. This isn't the Soul Olympics. You don't need to perform clarity or compete in enlightenment. You're allowed to be messy and magical at the same time. 5. Get quiet, but not alone. You don't have to tell 37 people you're stuck, but telling one safe person can open the valve and let some of that pressure out, or write it down, Scribble it on the back of a receipt. Speak it into a voice memo. Don't keep the ache inside your chest like it's a shameful secret. That's how it grows mold. You're not too much. You're not too sensitive. You're just not meant to carry it all alone. 6. Let yourself be found. Here's something wild. You don't always have to find your way. Sometimes, when you rest, when you stop pretending to know, when you stop trying to wrestle clarity into submission, your path finds you. It nudges you through a conversation, a song lyric, a random quote, a quiet knowing in the middle of folding towels. The lostness lifts, not because you chased it away, but because you finally stopped running from it. Last thoughts. You are still you, even in the fog. Being stuck doesn't mean you've lost your magic. Being lost doesn't mean your life is broken. It just means you're between chapters. And this too has wisdom. This too will shift. Until then, rest your nervous system. Loosen your grip. Laugh if you can. You're not behind.
Consider you are becoming.
Even now,